I'll play the role of
Danny comes
contrarian.
on TV today and he's like, hey guys,
No,
I've reviewed the footage.
My bad.
I've reviewed the tape. Turns out, good play.
Yep.
Throw.
He apologized. Took
I was trying to
ownership
give
of
love
it.
to
I
Miles
like
Sanders.
it.
A running back. It was a good
I
catch,
appreciate
too.
Throw the ball to the running back.
Yeah, exactly. They have to, unfortunately.
All right, well, let's talk about a team that's not scoring a ton. The Cleveland Browns. They lost again on Sunday. This one was to Arizona, and among the many lowlights, another tough outing for Baker Mayfield. A sideline blow-up between Jarvis Landry and head coach Freddie Kitchens. And now a report stating multiple Browns players, including Jarvis Landry, yelled at the Arizona sideline to, quote, come get me. After the game, Freddie Kitchens said he didn't care about his future as the Browns head coach. And then yesterday, he had to walk that back.
Let me clarify, since I care about my job, all right? I only care, though, about getting better today. That's what I was trying to illustrate, is I'm only focused on today, on getting this football team to play the best of their ability today and to increase those chances of us getting to that point on Sunday. The only thing I was trying to illustrate is the fact that I'm only concerned about what we're doing as a football team today, all right? And that's it. Of course I want to be back. Yeah.
Brian, you know things are bad when your head coach has to have multiple press conferences over the course of the season to talk about either T-shirts he should not have been wearing, things he should not have been. This is the head coach, by the way. What do you think the Browns should do? Should they clean house and start fresh by building around Baker?
No, you don't clean house. I mean, if you clean house, you're getting rid of two very talented receivers. You're getting rid of one of the better running backs in the league.
But talented to your team, though?
Yeah, but you need a better leader. That's what they need. All these things you're talking about, come get me, all those things, those are results of guys and teams losing. I've been on the team that it was losing right after the Super Bowl. We were 6-10, and we had a lot of infighting in our football team. When you lose, everything goes wrong. Everything from your meal in the morning, from your lunch, from your dinner, everything is absolutely wrong. When you start winning, things change. And I think the attitudes on the sideline, what players are saying, will change as well. In order to do that, you got to get rid of Freddie Kitchens. That's just the answer. You need a better leader, a guy with more confidence, guys that... So here's the thing. If you respect your coach, you don't go yell at them like that on the sideline. You don't have that type of blow-up on the sideline with your head coach. You just don't do it. Or if you do, after the game, you come to the media and say, I shouldn't have done that. I was out of line. You don't make that type of mistake. These guys don't respect Freddie Kitchens because he doesn't have the pedigree. He hasn't done it in the NFL. And because of that, these guys are wayward. They're all over the place. If you get a coach that gets in there, focuses your team, finds a way to get Baker to stop throwing the ball to the opposing team, then this is a different type of football team. You can win then, and then guys will want to be there. But right now, because of all the losing, everyone's going to be saying everything, and that happens on every team across the NFL.
Clearly, you want to build around Baker Mayfield. I mean, you drafted him for a reason, to make him your franchise quarterback. You've seen glimpses. You saw an entire rookie season where the future was bright. It was promising. Now you've had this regression, and I do think it focuses on the quarterback-coach relationship, and not only from a how do they get along, but how are they executing, more importantly, on the field. And there's just been a severe setback. You know, there's been a lot of film study and breakdowns of why isn't he putting me in better positions? Why aren't you utilizing Odell Beckham more? He's one of the most talented receivers in the game, and it has been an absolute disaster from that standpoint. I do think you do need to, and John Dorsey, because when you're the general manager, it's one thing to acquire talent, but you have to acquire the right talent for your locker room. There has to be a chemistry. There have to be guys that buy into your franchise and to their surroundings. And I think John Dorsey does need to have a sit down with Odell Beckham. I think Jarvis Landry is probably fine. He's over 1,000 yards. Like, he's still producing. But I think he needs to sit down to Odell Beckham and say, hey, I'm seeing these reports. I'm seeing, do you want out of here? Do you want out of here, or do you want to win here? Do you want to be a part of this rebuild? And if the answer is anything other than yes, then you have to shop him. Well, but if he does, then you don't want him on your team. And you try to trade him, bring in some pieces and people who actually want to be there.
What does clean house mean? Like, well,
it starts with the head coach.
So I think
how about it starts with the disgruntled guys on the team who have shown they may want to be there, may not want to be there.
Yeah, so I think we all agree on the head coach.
Yeah.
The reason I asked the question is clean house, what it says on the screen, clean house and build around Baker. Building around Baker means giving him talented wide receivers. It means giving him talented players. The Browns have 2 flashing red light problems this year. None of them involve the kid formerly with the yellow hair. They are: the head coach is in over his head, and the quarterback has been a disaster. Now, if people want to blame Baker's performance on the arrival of Odell Beckham, you can do that. I think you would look foolish doing that.
I don't think anyone's
No,
doing that.
right. So the point being, Baker's stats this year are undeniably bad. You cannot win in this league. It is a coach-quarterback league with substandard coaching while also having substandard quarterback play. I would argue the Packers for a few years won with what I considered substandard coaching with great quarterback play. This year, the Patriots are winning with substandard quarterback play and great coaching. If you have both, you're a disaster. Right now, the Browns are a disaster. Baker has only 2 quarterbacks have more picks. He's 28th in completion percentage. He's 30th in passer rating. That's a disastrous season.
But you can't build a team around Odell. You have no choice but to build the team around Baker.
Of course, right. I'm not arguing you build it around Odell. What I'm saying is that we are searching for reasons why this has gone poorly for the Browns, when it is very obvious. The coach is in over his head, and the quarterback has regressed massively. It is John Dorsey's job to find the coach that can either hire a staff that can get Baker back on track, or who individually can get Baker back on track. That is the answer to the questions here, is get the quarterback on the trajectory he was last year. You hired this coach because of that and that alone, and it's been a total failure to go along with all the other stuff that you're mentioning, the distractions caused by the head coach, which should never happen.
Even if you find a defensive coach, Ron Rivera, you need an offensive coordinator that can get the best, a quarterback coach that can get back to fundamentals for Baker. The thing I would do in Cleveland would be pretty simple. We're not going to depend on you to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. We're going to run the ball 35 times with Nick Chubb. We're going to get you in some play action. We're going to want you to be more accurate than you've been in the past. We can't throw 17 touchdowns and then 17 interceptions. We're going to put you in a situation where now you can get the ball out of your hands. We want you to be a point guard instead of the scorer. We want you to be the guy that we can depend on to be accurate and down the field. That's it. We don't need you to win every football game. Right now, Baker has this thought process that he has to win every game for this team. That's not what he needs to be at this point.
It's Baker trying to do that, but it's also Freddie Kitchens trying to make everybody happy and feeding his big-name wide receivers and hearing in his head constant reports. We got to get Odell involved. We got to get, and building game plans around trying to go out there and get Odell involved when maybe the best thing for the team is to give the ball to Chubb and let him run it.
And that's why he's over his head, because I think he's listening to all these different voices. But when you talk about cleaning house, when you fire the head coach, you're getting a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. It's going to be, and you need, 2 of the things you need a new